I arrived at the morgue just after 10 p.m., coffee in hand, ready for another night shift. The building smelled of disinfectant, metal, and something I could never name, like the scent of stillness itself. Walking through the main doors, I noticed the fluorescent lights flickering, casting long shadows on the white tile floors. The building was silent except for the hum of refrigeration units, which I had grown accustomed to over years of night shifts. Still, tonight felt different. A heaviness pressed against my chest, like someone or something was already inside. By 10:15 p.m., I entered the prep room. Tables gleamed under the harsh fluorescent light, instruments laid out meticulously. Tonight, I was alone. The usual assistant called out sick. As I prepped the first body, a man who had passed from natural causes, I noticed something odd. His hand twitched slightly, once, almost imperceptibly. I froze. Morticians often see minor post-mortem movements, but this was different, deliberate, intentional. My heart raced, but I reminded myself, rigor mortis, nerve endings, rational explanations. Still, the twitch repeated, as if he was trying to grab at the edge of the table. By 10:30 p.m., I moved to the storage area. Rows of refrigerated drawers lined the walls. I checked the logs for the bodies arriving tonight. As I approached one drawer, I noticed frost forming in a pattern, like handprints. The metal was cold, almost unbearably so. I opened the drawer slightly. Inside, the body seemed normal at first glance. But then I felt it, a subtle shift beneath my hands, as if the corpse had moved slightly in response to my touch. I backed away slowly. The lights flickered, and I heard something behind me, a slow, deliberate dragging noise, like someone walking in heavy boots. But the hallway was empty. By 10:50 p.m., I decided to check the observation room. The room overlooked the prep area through a glass window. All tables were empty, yet on the monitors I noticed something impossible. One body sitting upright, its head tilted, staring directly at the camera. I blinked. The figure was gone. I rewound the footage. Same result. Upright, staring, gone. I felt my hands shake. For months, morticians have told me stories, minor disturbances, whispered voices, but I had never seen it myself. Now I couldn't deny it. Something was inside the morgue with me, moving the bodies. By 11:10 p.m., I ventured into the basement. Old morgues often had storage below ground for excess bodies, instruments, and records. The temperature dropped sharply. My breath fogged in the dim light. The room was lined with rusted shelving and empty caskets. I approached one of the older caskets. Dark wood, brass fittings. I lifted the lid slightly. Nothing. And yet I felt a presence directly behind me. I spun around. Empty. A single drawer across the room slid open on its own. The sound of footsteps echoed, circling me. But when I turned, there was no one there. My flashlight flickered, revealing a shadow perched on the stairs. A human shape, impossibly thin, head tilted unnaturally, then gone. By midnight, the disturbances intensified. On the monitors, bodies shifted, limbs bent at impossible angles. Chairs tipped over. My phone, usually silent, began vibrating, displaying text from numbers I didn't recognize. "We are here." I checked every door. Locked. The freezer units hummed violently. I felt icy fingers brush my neck. Every step I took was echoed, yet no one followed. At 12:30 a.m., a drawer opened slowly, revealing a body with its head lifted, mouth opening as if to scream silently. I ran to it, but the body was back in its resting position when I reached the drawer. Heart pounding, I realized the morgue itself was alive, observing me. By 1:15 a.m., I made the decision to leave. I retraced my steps to the main doors, avoiding the prep room and basement. The temperature began rising slightly, the hum lowering, the shadows receding, but I could still feel them watching. When I opened the front doors, the night air hit me like a wave. The streets were empty. No one was around. I drove home, checking the rear view mirror constantly. No one followed, yet I could feel a weight in the back seat, a presence lingering, watching, waiting. I have returned for work since, but never alone, never after dark, and I never checked the storage drawers without someone beside me. It was July 1999. The rain had been falling in heavy sheets all evening, hammering the tin roofs of Lagos Island. The city outside was restless, with thunder growling across the lagoon. Inside the General Hospital morgue, a man named Chinedu prepared for his shift. He had worked there for 3 years already. The job was not for the faint of heart. Stacking bodies, tagging the dead, cleaning up after autopsies, preparing cadavers for burial. Most people couldn't last even a week, but Chinedu, quiet and introverted, somehow found a strange calmness in the silence of the dead, at least until this night. Around 11:15 p.m., the first corpse of the night arrived, a body from a car accident, covered in blood and soaked clothes. Chinedu and his colleague, Bala, wheeled the stretcher into the cold storage room. But as they rolled it in, the fluorescent lights flickered above them, buzzing, humming, before settling back into a dim glow. "There is power outage again," Bala muttered, shrugging. Power cuts were normal, nothing unusual. But Chinedu felt something, a heaviness in the air, as if the storm outside had seeped into the morgue walls. He brushed it off. By 11:35 p.m., Chinedu was alone. Bala had gone outside to grab suya from a nearby joint, leaving him to finish arranging the shelves. The morgue was dead silent. The hum of the freezers, the faint drip of rainwater from a leaking roof corner, the occasional crackle of thunder. Chinedu wheeled another cadaver into storage, a woman in her late 40s who had died from complications during surgery. He pushed the stretcher, slid her into the metal cabinet, and shut the door. That was when he heard it, a low groan, muffled, coming from inside the storage cabinet. Chinedu froze. His hands trembled on the handle. His first thought, maybe she's still alive? It wouldn't be the first time in Nigeria that a hospital mistakenly declared someone dead. He yanked the drawer open. The woman's body lay still, eyes shut, chest unmoving, skin already cold. Silence. Then another sound came, this time from the far end of the room, a dragging, shuffling noise, like bare feet scraping against the wet floor.